you guys are able to hear me okay too. And not only that, like see me. So not my face, obviously. I look crazy. So I just wanted to share like a quick message with you guys. Of course, as always, I'm always, you know, um sharing messages when I'm led to share them. And sometimes I'm like reluctant to share some of the messages that I have because they might be a little too um I don't know, triggering, but whoever it's meant for, hopefully, it'll come at the divine time when it's meant to reach you. But so last night or early, it was like early in the morning, like the wee hours of the morning, like 1 o'clock, if that. I can't even remember. I think it was, when did I write this? Let me see. Yeah, this was like early in the morning. Um, Saturday night, Sunday morning ish. So I wrote this message, and I was inspired to, in my intimacy with God, and I had to keep some things to myself because I feel like not everything that I experience personally is meant to be shared with the collective. So I'm going to discern what to share and what not to share. But there was almost like this message that I was guided to write down, and it is pertaining to marriage for some of you. For those of you that, maybe this is where you are, is something to do with marriage. And as a messenger, you guys, like, I know like some people are just stuck on me being a tarot reader and stuff like that. That is just a part of my gift. Like, it's cards plus my gift. That's not where my gift is. It's not where it solely relies upon. So if you're just on here like, oh, she about to pull, like, that's not all I am. Like, there's plenty of tarot channels, but I'm a messenger first. However I deliver the messages, whether it's just this way, whether it's through a post, whether it's cards or not, I'm just a messenger, and I just deliver it in the way that I'm supposed to deliver it, whether it's with the cards or with not. I'm a messenger with or without cards, is pretty much. So if I come on here to speak to the people in the collective, I'm a mouthpiece for divine God, like for source God. I'm not just a tarot reader. Like, that's, like I said, it's my gift plus tarot. If the tarot is removed, my gift is still there. So hey, um, what you get. Hey, so I wanted to talk about this message that I got, and sometimes I'll read the Bible, um, and get like clarity and answers to things that I'm asking or seeking. And one of the chapters that I opened was First Chronicles, the book of Chronicles, and the word crone by itself, like, what is it? CHRON by itself means time. The word itself means time. When you add the chronicles, like you add the word, um, the rest of the word to it, it means keeping record of time. Pertaining to what I was asking, um, I was like, okay, that makes sense, because when I experience certain things in my life, or if I'm praying for clarity, I'm praying for guidance, I'm praying for confirmation or whatever, and I'm receiving something I believe is a confirmation or a sign, I'll screenshot it. Depending on what it is, I'll screenshot it, take a picture, maybe write something down, um, whatever, however. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So for some of you, you might, when it comes to the things that, and like I said, this message is in regards, it can be in regards to anything, but specifically this message that I wrote down is about marriage for some of you. This is, I don't know, like, how many people this is going to be for, but I just had to trust and be obedient to what my spirit is telling me. That there's something, maybe you guys have been keeping record of like something you've been experiencing or confirmations, and please by all means do that, because that could later be a testimony. That could be something that encourages you to keep going, or later on it might be something that will make sense later. So write down, keep record of, record, screenshot, whatever things that you see that feels like it relates to confirmation or a prayer or an answer, or it may not make sense why you're being guided to document certain things now, but it may be pieces to the puzzle and it'll make sense later. And sometimes it's like you have on record the promise that has come to pass. There's certain things that I've written down and I'll go back and I'll look at it and I'll be like, wow, like that makes sense now. And it may have been something that I just wrote, not really fully understanding why, or why I was venting, or why I was asking for certain things, or why I was led to write things down, but it makes sense later, or certain things that maybe I kept or I saved. Um, so yeah, keeping record of time. Where is that message? Oh, okay. So this is I asked Spirit like a very specific question. I'm like, why? What is all of this? Why is this happening? And I sat down and I was led to write these things. And like sometimes, like if Spirit gives me a vision, I'll see like pictures, I'll see scenes of things playing out. Sometimes I'll see things being written down in my mind's eye, like I'll see like words. And in this instance, it looked like someone was writing in a journal, but it looked like, you know, those old school ink pens? It kind of looked like that. So I'm seeing the words writing themselves, and I'm being guided to document it and write it. And then some of it, like I said, is like I'll see visions of images, pictures. It might look like videos, things moving. So this is what I wrote down. Now, this is not going to resonate for everyone. Okay, I'm just going to just read it. I'm kind of nervous to read it because I know that some people might be triggered by certain things. Like, you know, people rather, as opposed to hearing the word demon, people might want to hear the word low vibrational beings, right? Rather than hearing the word demon or spirits, low vibrational, they would rather hear low vibrational spirits or things or low vibes versus demonic spirits. So I understand that. So this is just how it was given to me. So I'm going to explain it to you because I feel like this is going to be freeing to someone and make a lot of sense. And I know that this made sense to me, and it also helped me to discern like what my blockages are. It's definitely concerning love. And for some of you, like I said, this is a marriage message. You don't have to be married. You could desire to be married. You could be wondering, why have you not married yet? Some of you guys may be at an age where you feel like it's past your time and all of that, and you should have been married by now. Why does it never work out? And blah, blah, blah. So hopefully this helps and blesses whoever this is meant to help and bless. Okay. So I'm going to start reading. So 2 wedding rings joined together in holy matrimony. A pure white gown, a bride left smiling. A lady in black glides into the scene. She's come to stop/delay time, coming to interfere with what you don't know is. She's come to cause delay. She is the enemy, seeking to kill, steal, and destroy all joy and the promises of God. She is in your home. And when I heard the word home, Spirit made me write heart, mind, mouth, and body. I have to stop right here real quick so I can explain this. In my vision, I seen 2 rings together, and I heard the word joined together in holy matrimony. So I'm like, okay, this is a message of marriage. I seen a woman in a white gown, a wedding gown, and she was smiling. She was spinning around like it was her wedding day, like she was excited. And then there was this woman that came in, and she looked, she was kind of wearing like this liquid, like black, you know, kind of like leather, but it was like that shiny leather color, like almost kind of like latex, I guess. It gave me like a dominatrix type of vibe to it, and she had this dress on, and she was like coming into my vision. And that's when I heard Spirit saying, this lady in black, she's coming to stop, delay time, and coming in to interfere. She's coming to kill, steal, and destroy all joy and the promises of God. So what I got from that, especially the part says that she's in your home. I didn't get that she's in your home literally meaning like she's in your house, but she's in your body, in your temple. So it could be in your heart, something in your heart that interferes with believing, or in your mind it could be something that you think. It could be a program in your mind that thinks a certain way, could be negative thinking, it could be, and the other one was in your mouth and in your body. So something within the self. And in order to get free of things, you guys, we have to take accountability where there needs to be correction. If it be that this is not for you, it's not for you. But if you're someone that deals with pride and stubbornness, and you take offense to correction and taking accountability, you're blocking yourself. You're blocking your own blessings. This isn't me telling somebody what they have to do, what they need to do, and it's only coming from a place of, if this is for you, like, it only applies to you if you know for a fact. And some people will reject it, and some people will admit to themselves, like, yeah, for me personally, I can identify with this in a couple of ways. Being very careful what I say out of my mouth about my situation, about myself, and the way that I think. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. So if you're in your heart, your hope is deferred when it comes to love. Hey, sis. I got your text message. I'm gonna read them after I get off of here. I promise. But yeah, there's something that blocks and interferes what spirit is saying, your belief in this thing to come to pass for you. It's causing delay where there shouldn't be. Okay, let me finish the rest of the message. It says she defiles God's works and promise. The word defile, if you look the word up, it makes it even more profound. I didn't even know. I like, we know common sense, like, okay, we know words in a sense, but like the definition, when you look at them, it's like you get a deeper understanding when you actually see the definition. And from my memory, from what I can recall when I looked it up this morning, defile can represent trying to basically destroy something that is meant to be sacred. So something that God has appointed and anointed, and it's sacred, such as marriage and such as a promise to you, right? Being defiled. Okay, that's heavy. Okay, so it says she defiles God's works and promises. Shame on all who believe in her lies. And then God called me out and said, even you. And I was like, damn, like, excuse me? But yeah, no. Yeah, if you believe in the lies, whether it's in your mind and your heart, out the words that you speak out of your mouth, because whatever's in the heart, the mouth is going to speak it out. The truth comes out. Come to repentance and release her, meaning release whatever these beliefs is. So the her is this spirit, this essence, not really a pure essence. I'll say the spirit, this vibration, this energy, for those of you that don't like the word spirits and all of that. This low vibrational thing and energy needs to be released out of some people's hearts and minds, and out of their mouth, off of their tongue, out of their body. Some of you guys are using your body, because the other definition of defile was to take away the chastity. Chastity is purity and innocence, in some cases virginity. So the purity of your body and keeping your temple pure and clean. So let's say the things that you take into your body, the things that you believe, the gunk that you take in, the things that you're speaking over yourself, the people you're allowing in your life and in your space, some of the people you sleeping with can defile your very temple. And I know this might be heavy for some people, but it is what it is. It says tell to, oh, I don't know what this says. Something about tell her to wreak havoc no more. Take back your power and promise. As she's all she's cursed against you shall no longer be. So whatever she's cursed against you shall no longer prosper. It's not going to work. Her hour of delay is now over, done and away with. Are you ready to receive? Do you believe? That's exactly what I heard. So let me read it over again so it makes sense. Two wedding rings joined together in holy matrimony. A pure white gown, a bride left smiling. A lady in black glides into the scene. She comes to stop/delay time, coming to interfere. What you don't know is she's come to cause delay. She is the enemy seeking to kill, steal, and destroy all joy and the promises of God. She is in your home. In other words, your heart, mind, mouth, and your body. She defies She defiles God's works and promises. Shame on all who believe in her lies. Come to repentance and release her. Tell her to wreak havoc no more and take back your power and promise. All she has cursed against you shall no longer prosper. Her hour of delay is now over and done away with. Are you ready to receive? And do you believe? Okay. So, yeah. For some of you, this might be a little bit heavy. And I have this really amazing book. It's like a small read, but it has these prayers on it, deliverance prayers. And in one of like in each section or each chapter, he talks about our temple. And our temple is kind of like if you opened up your cabinet in your kitchen, there's different compartments, right? Or there's different levels. So let's say that from the top of your head all the way to the soles of your feet is a cabinet. And there's all these different levels, all these different spaces, right? Where energies and vibrations can dwell. I'm going to talk for those of you that resonate with spirituality and new agey words like low vibration and energy blocks and chakras. And for those of you that are just, whatever it is, what it is, demonic spirits and energies, right? Demonic sources, spaces that affect different parts of your body that can really dwell there. So that's why it's very careful when people say, like, be careful what you watch, be careful what you listen to. When you watch you listen to certain things on TV, you're watching a movie, and let's say this movie is about, you're watching like some hood movie on Tubi or something, and all it's about is like these hood dudes, and they just cheating on their girlfriends, and they doing this or doing that, and you're watching that. You're taking that in, or you're watching Love and Hip Hop, or you're watching Housewives, or you're watching destruction all up on the TV, right? That's all you see. 24/7, that's all you see. You're just watching junk TV. You're taking that in, and your eyes are a portal, okay? Right? The window to your soul. You're taking that stuff in. And then whatever's attached to that, the spirit of perversion, the spirit of lust, the spirit of murder, violence, you're watching that, you're taking that into you, and it's attaching itself. It's affecting your vibration. That's why Spirit says to, for us to cleanse ourselves and to fast or to do spiritual cleansings, however you're led to do it, or to cover yourselves and be mindful of what you're watching, what you're taking in, what you're listening to, who you're communing with, right? What you listen to. Sound frequencies. Some have high vibrations, some have low vibrations. When people make music, some people make music to kill, steal, and destroy, and to shape the minds of people and twist the minds of people and to influence them in a negative sense. They'll use words, trigger words. They'll talk about, I'm going to roll up. That's why when you hear like some court cases, some people are influenced by certain songs, like to go out and like do a drive-by. They might throw on some Bone Thugs or something that the music, and we listen to it, and some people know how to, dissect it and discern it. Okay, this is for turn up time. This is for this is for that. And some people listen to that if that's all they listen to in the car or on their, whatever they're listening to. That spirit dwells in them. It starts to take over them. So if a person, let's say, is already a violent person, or listening to like Eminem, because I think Eminem did influence some people negatively, talking about doing stuff to his mom and his baby mother and violence and harm, it's going to affect the minds of the person because it's programming them. There's a frequency in the music, and and there is certain lyrics, and there's certain tones to the music that kind of tweak itself, like, or tweaks the inner parts of you. So when you hear a song that is high vibrational, it perks your mood. It makes you happy, right? It might even make you cry, tears of joy. It might open your heart space where you just feel all this energy. Like for me, like I love Stevie Wonder's music. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like there's certain songs that they have that does something to my, like, it just shifts me in some way. And I don't know how to explain it. And they say that Mozart, if I'm not mistaken, is really good for babies. It soothes babies, and it also helps children concentrate during class. If they're getting rowdy or whatever, it helps them to calm, be more calmer. So music that has certain frequencies in it. So going back to this book, this deliverance book that I have, he was talking about how in your ears, there could be certain spirits that house in your ears and counsel things to you, or where you might have a ear where you don't want to hear truths. Maybe you want to hear a whole bunch of sugar-coated things, or you take offense to certain things. You don't know how to discern what's truth, what's a lie. So you want to remove those blockages over your mind, over your in other words, for some of you, your crown chakra, whatever, your mind, your ears, your mouth can have things housed in it, which is why sometimes we might cuss a lot. Sometimes, like, we just get rowdy, we just be cussing, and or a person that just cusses. That's all they do. They just f this, f that, blah, blah. They talk so filthy. Have you ever heard a person that's like their mouth is so disgusting, like they can't go without not cussing? Something over the tongue. And also too, you can place curses, or you can place life and speak life to things and over yourself by the words that you speak. Words hold vibrations. That's why people, when they say certain things, hypnosis, and when they do certain trigger words, they have power, they have influence. So are you going to speak things of life over you, or are you going to speak negatively over yourself, or about yourself, or just speaking it out into the atmosphere because that vibration is going somewhere? Another case in point, they did a study, and I can't remember who did the study. I just learned this because I had to do this for my sound healing certification. This study, scientific study, where I think it's called somatics, water and somatics, where it's like experiments with water and sand. I think sand. Yeah, it might just be water and sand, where like certain vibrations will create geometric shapes in the water or in sand, just based off of the sound frequency. It'll, like, if you tune it, it'll shift and it'll start creating another geometric shape. It's really dope. So this man, he did a water experiment. A lot of you might be familiar with this water experiment, but he did this water experiment where one of the waters, he spoke life into them. The other one, he spoke negatively. He said like negative things to it. And then there was one that just stayed in the lab and it was untended. So they did nothing to it. They spoke nothing. It just sat there. So when they did it, the clearer the water was for the one that he spoke life into, obviously, the more muddy and distorted the water was for the one that was spoken negatively over. And then the one that was left unattended and nothing was going on with it, it was the most distorted. And I was like, that's interesting, because sometimes, like, you have to speak life into something, right? Or it'll just die. Like flowers, if you don't water them, if you don't take care of them, if they don't get the proper nurture, sunlight and the proper environment, it will die. It'll start to, like, wither away. So like with you, if there's nothing feeding your spirit, giving you life, it's going to feel like, and I can say this with all confidence and knowing and truth, that there were times where I spoke nothing but negativity over myself, and sometimes I didn't even know how, and I wasn't used to people speaking life into me and speaking love to me and over me. I was used to like word curses and demeaning things being said, and sometimes our parents will say things and they don't really know that it can affect you, it can hurt you, or kids say things to other kids that they don't know later on might really stick on them, until you break those word curses off of you. So you are a living organism and being. I always connect us to being like flowers. We need to be nurtured and loved. We're seeds as children, and we're meant to blossom and grow. And sometimes that seed gets, tampered with before it can really fertilize and grow into something more. It gets tampered with. But again, I'm just going to say all this again, going back to that phrase where this spirit or this energy that causes that delay, that causes that lack of faith or that lack of hope, or causes you to disbelief, is housed in certain areas in your body. And for some of you, you're going to have to pray over those parts in your body because, like I said, our body is a temple. And if you think about it, it's like a cabinet. There's different levels to it. Your ears have levels. Your mind, your brain, your mouth, your nose even. Of course, your throat, what you speak out of your mouth is connected to your mouth. What you house in your heart, what's in your stomach. Stomach usually holds a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of resentment. Fear is housed here sometimes. Trauma stays here in the lower regions of your body. So I would do this if you feel led to. Sit with yourself in an intimate space where you're not distracted and where you can, be vulnerable, maybe cry, maybe, I don't know, yell, maybe just like sit and release and talk to Source God, talk to the Most High and ask God to help you through this, to reveal to you what inside of you or where in your body are you housing the spirit of disbelief, the spirit of delay, the spirit of despair, or I would more so say like it's really disbelief, and for some of you it could be self-sabotage as well. Like we can self-sabotage ourselves and push things away. And the self-rejection video that I did, it was a live discussion maybe like a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. If that resonates with you, watch that. Because self-rejection, it starts off pretty early in life and it blocks you from experiencing the things that you're meant to experience, or it basically blocks you from reaching your fullest potential. And getting there, the journey to that, it tries to stop you for before you can even begin. It causes you to second guess yourself. It causes you to sit things out. It causes you to overanalyze situations, or cause you to want to be alone or not be around anyone. That can also connect to the orphan spirit. I do believe that the orphan spirit is connected to the spirit of self-rejection, however you want to call it. So I would sit with that and ask to be freed and released of whatever that is. And if it's things that you've said over yourself, like, oh, it's never going to happen for me, or, oh, that's too difficult. Hey, Ro, that's too difficult. And I had to catch myself from saying this, like, even believing that, I was too much for someone to want to be with me. Like, I'm too complex. Like, okay, I'm not a cookie cutter Barbie doll. Like, nobody's going to want me. Like, who's going to want to take me home to their family? Like, I'm really weird. Who's going to be like, oh, yeah, my girl, she listens to spirit and she gets messages and she reads review. Like, some people might think it's cool. It depends on who. And I believe there's someone for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, it's someone for everyone. Truly is. So that was an ignorant thought to say. And for those of you that feel like you're just too much, I want to say this, that if you're someone that is like, kind of like you're not what people say is the norm, because I would be like, okay, well, some probably would probably prefer someone that's like in college and has a degree, and the Lori Harveys. I'm just use her as an example. Lori Harvey's gorgeous. I'm not shaming her. I'm using her as an example. But let's say like a Lori Harvey, or who can I use for like another race as an example? I don't know. Let's say Jennifer Aniston or something. Like, it's this, typical, not typical. How do I say it? Like I guess like a classic look or of a woman or beauty, or something that seems like, okay, that's normal, as opposed to somebody maybe like, I'm just gonna use this as an example too, but like a Miss Cleo or something, right? Probably don't get a lot of dates. You're intriguing, but it's like, what do I do with this? It's not the norm. You know what I mean? So I had to stop saying that, because there are other people like you. There are other people like me that, are your tribe and that you will resonate with. And same with your partner. Like, and even if you guys are not exactly the same and into exactly the same things, like, it's all about your spirit, your soul. Like, that's the depths of it, not the external parts of it or what you do for a living. And, it adds color to your connection. And Spirit said this to me when I was like really combating myself with this. That's a beautiful thing. That makes it even more better. The fact that, okay, so let's say, I don't know, you go to a buffet and everybody's like, okay, we want all Italian food, or all the Mexican food, Italian food, and the American food. But then the sushi is like nobody really wants to touch it. Like back in the day, not a lot of people were into sushi, so I'm gonna just use sushi, and that's one of my favorite foods. So it's just like off to the side, and nobody's touching it because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know about it. I don't know how it's gonna taste. I don't the texture of it. I don't know about that. It's raw fish. I'll pass, right? But it's left there and it's separate, and whoever is meant to try it and be like, you know, and comes to find that they love it or they like it. That's what you want in a relationship. You don't want to be put in where everyone else, like where you fit into this box. There's nothing wrong with, you know, I would just say this. There's nothing wrong with being different, and there's nothing wrong with being similar to a lot of people, but I feel like being unique and your own way. And yeah, granted, there's thousands of people that can hear spirit, or people that are into spiritual. There's millions and thousands of us, but there's only one you, and how you express you is what adds color. Like, we're all meant to be different. None of us are meant to all look alike and have the same style, or talk the same, or like the same music. And that's cool because you can vibe with people that resonate with you. But sometimes it's cool to learn something different and be like, oh, I never thought about that. Or, you could put someone on to something that they never, heard, seen, saw, tasted, been, wherever. That's what, life experience, growth. But yeah, like, to say you're too much, or no one's gonna really like want you, and if it's because of your past and things like that, just like God doesn't hold us to our past. Like, once we set it in the past and we're done with it, God is like, whatever, like, that's the past. But it's the like people that are not meant to be in your life, they'll constantly keep record of your wrongs, and that's coming from a heart that is not that's not coming from a healthy heart, a person that holds resentment. That's why people die of broken hearts. Some people die of with unforgiveness in their heart, with lack of peace in their heart. You get sick from things like that because it's housed, again, these are spirits, these are energies that are housed in your body. And just like I was saying with the whole somatics and the water thing, our body is mostly made up of water. So what we speak over ourselves, it shifts your frequency. So if you think of your body as this, if you guys believe in chakra, because everybody's so damn spiritual, right? But they can't get it. But everyone that's into this whole chakra thing and the energies, and that you can cause certain like disoriented things in that energy space and that portal of your body by the way that you carry what you carry in you. So your body will tell you, okay, my heart chakra is blocked. Why? Because I have resentment. I have a lack of forgiveness. I don't know how to express love. I don't know how to love myself. My heart is always aching. I can't really breathe. It could come in like forms of physical things and emotional expressions. That's how your body is speaking to you. If you have solar plexus block, you might have a hard time also expressing yourself, or have a hard time with like your immune system and your release and all of that. Like, your physical body will tell you like something's off with me. So that is pure evidence that these blockages, these things in your body, these energies, these spirits and things like that, they can cause sickness and death in some cases. So yeah, going back to the whole thing of love, like, the person that's for you, they're not going to hold you to your past, especially if you moved past that. You're not living in that. If you really love a person, and it takes time to forgive people, especially those that have wronged you, and if a person is truly have left that part of themselves, and they're truly remorseful, and they're truly free of that, and they're renewed and refined from that which they used to be, then why hold it against them? You know what I mean? Because it affects your body. It affects you. That's why spirit really stresses to us to forgive people. And we get in our feelings sometimes. They're like, oh, well, I don't feel like this person deserves forgiveness. But it's like, okay, it's affecting you. It ain't affecting them. Maybe for some people, if they truly have remorse, they might feel it and be like, damn, I really hurt that person. And they'll probably carry that weight with them. But a person that is living their life, and they might not even know that they hurt you, they're moving on, but you're carrying that. So it's affecting your energy. You don't forgive people solely for them. You forgive them for yourself. And also, so that it's also a testament, like, if you really believe in source, God and spirit and the universe and all this spiritual stuff, the universe of the God, the most high, the creator of all things, does not hold resentment against you, doesn't keep record of wrong with you. So when you're walking in that, you're in alignment with your source being, because you're not carrying that energy. You're not walking around with resentment, because that's not how source God operates with us. So it takes time. We're all human. Like, we're human. We're not perfect little beings. We're not Stepford wise. We ain't robotic people that just out here, right? And to feel like you have to confine or define yourself to be something that you're not, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable within your being. Hey, you're not going to feel healthy within your body, and you'll feel like a slave. And there's times where I have, with this whole thing, I be on here and sometimes I'll be trying to water my Jew down. I'll be trying to put water in something that's already saucy, that's already flavorful, and trying to make it, you know, easy for somebody else to taste. And it's like, if you don't like the taste, you don't like all this spice, I'm sorry, I have to be like that now. Thank you. I have to be like that now. Like, if y'all can't handle the sauce, this is too much flavor for you, I'm sorry. Because I can't come on here and water myself down and be like, love and light, everyone, namaste, and everything's perfect, and let's only talk about this and talk about that. Like, some stuff that I talk about might be a little weighty sometimes, and it might be like, beginner level for, some people, or it might be beginner level for me, but I can't do that anymore. I can't and come on here and say, okay, maybe I need to shut up and just do a tarot reading when my gift is not in the cards. The cards are just you know they're just a part of it. And even without the cards, my gift remains. My gift was never just the cards. That's the problem. And for those of us that are like, oh, we're so spiritual, but we watch the tarot to get answers that we can get from God, source first, or within ourselves. We believe not even the person that you're watching. You may resonate with the person. You may like the way they read, or you might just like your ears being itched to hear what you want to hear. But even with that, you're putting more trust in what the cards are saying. You probably wouldn't believe that I want to challenge this. If one of your favorite readers or one of the most popular tarot, like whoever has the most views and subscribers, were to just like completely just talk about something that isn't about what you want to hear, like love, or how you're going to be famous, or how everybody has wronged you and you're going to elevate and you're the empress and everybody's jealous of you. If you remove those messages, not to say that there's not truth in those, or there can't be truth in it, but let's say we remove those things that people want to hear versus the things like heal, how to heal, what's blocking you, what might be blocking you from love. If you had that person that would do that without cards, period, and they just told you all of this, would you watch that person? Probably not. You want to see the cards. You want to see the Ten of Cups. You want to see the lovers. You want to see the Empress and the Emperor. You want to see the Sun, and you want to be told how you're special. And you are. But when you separate that, and you got to talk about the other side of things that need the healing. Why are you still asking about your ex anyway? Why do you care about this new heifer that he talking to, or this new man that she dealing with, or how she a hoe? Like, why are you watching that? Why? What does it do for you? That's ego. You might find some truth in that stuff. I'm not knocking it. But what are you really getting out of it? It's the thing. What are you really getting out of it? Oh, okay. That's who he want to be with. Oh, I don't even care. And then you see the people in the comments, I don't even care about him anyway. Girl, you care, because you wouldn't be, you would be watching it. Sis, you care. And the fact that you care, you got to check yourself and say, why do I even care? And not to shame yourself to be like, you shouldn't care, but why do you care, and go into why do you care so you can heal. It's not fun, is it? It's not. I don't know. I digress. Maybe that's why my channel is where it's at. It's not, I don't have like thousands of views. If I was to just come on here and like do the things, because I used to do the twin flame stuff, and I talk about this all the time, so I'm not going to get into it. But I love love. And like I said, in the past, when I do these love reads and stuff, I want them to edify people. Yeah, there might be a little bit, a little tea up in there every now and then, but I want them to edify people. That's the whole purpose of it. Like, if I was to get a reading from someone or somebody, I want them to give me the real. Like, straight up give me the real. If this person is not good for me, tell me. It might sting a little bit, but shit, I'm free. Hey. Because I probably already knew it already that this dude wasn't shit. Thank you. I appreciate it. My sting. Like, sis, this ain't your twin flame. Okay, good. Because you know that people want to know, is this my person? Is this my twin flame and stuff? Like, you can't be afraid of the answer. If you asking for the truth, don't be afraid of the answer. It might be what you need to hear, and what you need to, I mean, of course you want it to be what you need to hear, but if it's something that may feel good to hear, cool. But if it's something that doesn't feel good to hear, but it's the truth and you need to hear it, it frees you. And why is that a good thing? Because it lets you know that, okay, it's a disappointment. I've, projected onto this person. I wanted them to be the person for me, but they're not that. Okay, I might have to heal past that, but at least there's someone that's still for me. Yeah, I don't like the whole. I do not like that twin flame talk. I just don't like the word at all. Like, I don't. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. The word soulmate always felt lighter to me. The word soul and then your mate, like the twin flame stuff and like the energy attached to it and the things that it makes people do, the energies that it brings out in people is like, it's very toxic. I understand what people are saying about, you can have that divine connection with a person. I get the concept of a divine connection. I get that. Or a connection that is divinely ordained, where two people are supposed to be together. I get that. I believe in that. But the whole thing with the twin flames, like, I can go on for days and I can like go in on that. But I understand I get it. I get it. Um, I just don't like the energy behind twin flame, and that's why I said words really create energy. So it makes me really wonder, like, what twin flame, like, what's really behind the energy of that. I don't like it. Just the word itself, I don't like it. I've never like came across people that were so fixated on that and obsessed and sick, and some people like have committed suicide over that. Some people have got restraining orders on them against that. Like, I don't like it. I don't. And I feel like we have to label everything, and that also just waters everything down too. But do I believe in divine counterparts? I absolutely do. I do. It's not that I don't believe in love. I don't believe that two people can be meant to be together and all of that. But the whole like thing, I don't think that everybody goes on, okay, if this happens, like, you know how many times I've like experienced certain things that are on these twin flame lists and on these twin flame videos, like informational videos and topics of twin flames, that I've experienced that with like a few people. And I've had people project that onto me, and I'm like, dude, like, who the fuck is you? Like, I don't get it. I don't know where you're getting this from, but it creates that crazy in people. And that's why I say, like, something about that ain't right. It ain't, something ain't right. It just not, it's not checking out, it's not. So I don't feel like everybody's journey is going to be the same. Our journeys are unique. And why I say this is that I believe that divine, like God, gives us a purpose. What is like what it is that spirit puts together, it has its own unique blueprint. But if everybody's saying, oh, because I saw this, not this synchronicity, or I seen this and I explained this, we got together, he ran or she ran, like, and some of that keeps people in this time loop and stuck on this one specific person, and be like, oh, well, because they ran, like, what if this person was just in it to get some ass, and you felt this connection with this person because the vibe might have been there. And I do believe this too, like, people can carry a certain essence of your person, or You're attracted to certain men or women because maybe they hold something similar to what your person ultimately will have about them, or maybe certain, looks and traits and things like that. But to say like, oh, it has to be this, and this is a synchronicity, and this is a sign. That's why so many people resonate with it. And to be honest, a lot of it is like people dealing with like narcissistic abuse. You're dealing with time wasters, and so many people have wasted their time and wasted their years on a fallacy that wasn't real. And for some people, they just project that this person is their twin, and they never even met the person, or this person has not paid them dust, or you know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful with that type of stuff. And that's why I say, like, if you try to take God out of it, y'all talk about divine spirit and the universe, but you don't consult divine. You watch videos, you watch other humans talking about the experience, and you don't have no connection to source God about it. You're not seeking discernment. You're gonna be just led astray in the shit. And I see that a lot, and I've been there. Like, you're not going to be led astray. Like, never. When you see God, you'll never be like in this loop of just wasting your time and your energy waiting on this person and that person. Like, if they're your divine counterpart, they couldn't even, they're not even going to even do anything to hurt you. Like, if there is somebody that's abusive towards you physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, whatever, that's not your person. They couldn't even do that to you. At best, this person would probably be like, okay, I'm an asshole. Let me stay away from this person, maybe. But I don't feel like this person is so scared that they cannot communicate with you. Or they're so scared that they can't tell you the truth. Or they can't tell you how they feel. They can't tell you what's going on. Like, are we dealing with a 3-year-old? A 3-year-old can tell you that they don't like you. A 3-year-old can pick up a phone and call somebody and, like, come on. So if a person is like that scared, and nah, it's an excuse. No, a divine connection, when it's, if you're gonna use the word divine and pure and all of this stuff, the definition of that is to move like that, right? A lot of people, oh, that's my divine masculine, but your divine, so-called divine masculine is nothing but that. He's not. He's anything but it. He's still sleeping with this one and that one, and he playing games with you. He's sleeping with you, then he going back to the other person. He don't know what he want. And not to say that this person has to be perfect, because we all have our quirks. We all have our insecurities. We all have our hang-ups. But the thing that separates it is a person that's willing to grow on their journey. That's a difference between a divine feminine, divine masculine. They're in a place of divine connectivity within themselves. So they're going to move differently than the average person that's just a karmic individual. Karma means you reap what you sow. So a person that's investing in negative energy constantly, they have no thought of the consequences of their actions. They don't think with the divine mind. They think with a low vibrational mind. So they're not going to think like you. And you guys might not be exactly the same and on the same level mentally, spiritually, or whatever all the time. This person might be above, awareness of where you are. They might understand things a little bit more than you, or in certain areas, and you might understand a little more than they do in certain areas. But if you're dealing with someone that is bringing your vibration down, such as causing you confusion, causing you to doubt yourself, or if you're putting yourself in a situation where you're in this limerence with someone that doesn't even see you like that, doesn't see you at all, doesn't know you, doesn't pay you dust, you're doing your own self a disservice. You can't blame anybody but you. And that's what I said, when it's a divine connection, you can't leave source God out of it. It's divine. How are you going to do that? You can't navigate in a connection that's divine, that is ordained by God, and move without that source. You can't do it. How do you think that's going to work? How do you think you're going to navigate through that? And some divine connections are things that you cannot fathom and place in a box. It's too divine for your understanding. So your ego mind is not going to be able to play this thing out. It's not going to be as simple as, a boy meets girl, or whatever the situation is. It's just not going to be that. Do I believe that people can feel a connection to someone and it just, I've seen it before. I've seen it. I know it to be true. But the thing is this, if you are suffering in it and God is not leading it, you're not seeking divine source to guide you or to help you discern what's what, and you're just moving how you want to move, or you're waiting, or oh, if I just do this, if I do that, if I do some spells, or if I get a reading, and that doesn't do anything. It's not going to do anything. It's not. I'm not here to sugarcoat you. I'm not doing that. I ain't doing it. I can't do that. Can't. You know, take it as it applies and as it resonates. It might be triggering, but there's always, like with the truth, there's always a silver lining and a message of love behind it. And the message of love with it is this: when you allow yourself to be governed by the Most High, and when I say that, meaning you're connected to your source, God, Creator, with every aspect of your life, you're not going to be led astray. You never will be led astray again. Will you probably have feelings for someone that's not meant for you? Yeah, but you'll be able to catch it later on and be like, okay, that's not the person, but it's up to you to decide when you're ready to move past that, or you're going to still entertain it. Because you're going to have battles with your flesh and your higher self. You're going to have battles. You're going to have battles. Yeah. It's not going to be easy because your flesh is going to be like, I want this. I want it now. I want this person. And it could be for all the wrong reasons. Or, and your spirit will say, no, give yourself time. No, you want the right thing. No, that don't sit right with us. We ain't resonating with that. We don't like that. But you have to know what you're feeding. And it's not easy. And when people talk about twin flames and soulmates and divine counterparts and stuff, it's easy, but it's not easy at the same time, right? Like, there's something about it that just flows and it clicks and aligns, and it aligns in its own perfect time. And it may be a little bit a time where maybe you feel like it's like, okay, this is happening too fast, or it's not happening fast enough, right? Um, and there's moments where it's like beautiful and it's like so divine and God is in it. You see all of these things coming together. You feel all of these experiences. You're being shown a lot of it. But then there's another side where it might be times where you have to be by yourself, where you want to be with someone, or um, you can't have what you want right now. That's not always easy. I call it the narrow path. Like, the narrow path is really about like the path to God, or the path to source. The what they call the righteous path versus the left hand path, or the broad path that everyone takes and walks because it's the most easiest. There's no spiritual warfare in that path. There's no patience and divine will and time. Do what thou will on that side. You do what you want, and you just whatever, right? YOLO. But over here, it's not that. It's not the path on the narrow path. And it's not to say that you're giving your power away and you're just this powerless being. No. It takes a powerful person to be like, this animalistic side of me, I know that it's a raging bull, because I'm a Taurus. I'm going to call it a bull. So when I get in my flesh and my ego, can be stubborn, I can be prideful, I could like dig my heels in the ground and just be a fucking asshole, but that doesn't get me anywhere. So when I say to myself, no, I'm going to rise above that lower nature and govern that, that's power. Fuck, oh, I'll just do what I want, I fuck who I want, and I do this, and then their consequences, like, okay, well, you're a fool. Because you have no concept or no concern about your future and what's happening to your body, to your spirit, to your mind, how it affects other people, how this may affect you later, and you laying in a hospital bed somewhere because you got that on you and you can't get rid of it. Yeah. And that's where self-love comes in. Again, it's all about self-love. It always returns back to that. Do I want this dude that bad? Do I want that ass that bad? Do I want this girl that bad? Or do I want to smoke this bad? Or whatever it is, you ain't supposed to be doing. That's not for you. That's not good for you. Maybe other people can handle it, but that's not you. Ask yourself that. Is it really worth that for me at the end? Because I always say there's like, sex is beautiful with the right person, with the right energy. When you're in the right, it's something completely different. It's sacred. But when it's with some dude that just look good, or some female that just look good, it's not going to last long. The thrill is over. And then you're probably looking at this person like, ugh, like, why did I do that? Like, ugh, I don't even like him. Oh, I don't even like her. What'd you get out of it? The ego was like, oh, I got to have that. Oh, because he fine. And oh, oh, or oh, she bad. And then what'd you get out of it? Your ego did that. The ego wanted that. Why? What inside of what needed to be fed? There's a difference. Ego fed versus soul led. Like, where we going? Narrow path. And like nowadays, like if you look at the world, everybody's taking that big path. And it's like, if you ain't coming with us, you lame, you boring. Oh, you gonna be by yourself forever. That's why you ain't got no man. Oh, you lame. That's why. Ugh. Yeah, you guys are all in the hive mind together. Birds of a feather flock together, and y'all ain't going too high with that. You pigeons, like, okay, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. You live your life and you're free. Your spirit, your soul is free. Do you know that people that live their life like that, when they leave this earth, all of that which they did, they're going to have to account for in their spirit. There's heaviness in their spirit when they leave this earth. Some of them you're seeing it. You're going to see a lot of young people leave early on this earth, whether it's their time, because some of them are supposed to be on the other side. They have powerful energies. Like, I'll say like a Shanquilla Robinson probably is like a catalyst for the collective. That's a different energy. Low vibrational people like, these rappers that live these careless lifestyles and fighting and shooting and all of that, that you're going to see that the people that are on that broad path that live that life, oh, I got money, flashing their chains and they grills and shit, like, twerking their asses, they don't live long lives. Or when they get older, if they live to see it. And I really hate to see this, but for some reason I really don't see a lot of young people living to see their 60s or their 50s. I don't see that. And it's sad. Like, this youth, they don't care about their future. They don't care about their lives like that. They don't. They're living for the now, and not in a good way where you're present and you're living life presently, but living for the now, meaning like they don't care about what's going to happen tomorrow. Because it's like the trends. I'm going to take this ass shot and I don't care if it leaves me dead on a surgery table. I want this fat ass. I want to get these endorsements. I want to model for Fashion Nova, whatever. They don't think that far. Like, how is this going to affect me? And it might be for the money, because money, people love money, so they'll do anything for it. So it might be a thing of, okay, if I get this ass shot, I'll be able to secure my future later and I'll be able to live it up when I'm 60. But that ass shot might take you out of this earth before you even hit 30. And I'm not shaming anyone for their decisions. It is what it is. But to see it from the other perspective of it. Why? Oh, because I want to. It's my body. I do what I want to do with my body. Right. It's your body and you do. But is that what you do to your body? That decision, is that okay though? Is it safe though? Not really. And the pressure of what young girls are seeing, they think that they gotta be naked and they gotta be doing this and they gotta be doing that. That is from a lot of brokenness. And you have influencers that some of them don't even live that life. They're playing a role. They're being paid to lead you astray, basically. And is the money worth? And I say to them, like, is the money worth it? Like Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallion, like, well, we love them. We love to like pop and twerk to them. But at the end of the day, like, you're selling what you're doing to the masses. You're selling them deception and lies, and you're leading them in the path of destruction. You're encouraging young girls and young women to live a lifestyle that's going to be taxing on their spirit later on in life. And that's a weight to carry all within itself as an individual that is a creative or an artist or a so-called creative or artist that's sitting here rapping this shit and talking about it and posting it. And some of them, they're married or they booed up, caked up. They're not living that life that they're telling you. Some of them. Like some of the like rap life too, like some of them got paying for street cred and like props and stages and things like that to like look like they're living that life. Don't own some of this jewelry that they wearing, these cars, and it's like it's for a show for you, it's entertainment, but to some people they take it as literal. They're influenced by it. Be influenced by something else. Like everybody wants to be known for something. They want to be famous. Very little people want to be an influencer in a sense. And I hate the word influencer because some people that use that title, you're influencing people down a path of vanity, a path of promiscuity, violence, death. You know what I mean? Just poor lifestyle. Painted in luxury. Poor lifestyle created in luxury. That's all it is. That's all it is. Rather than being an influencer, meaning you're an influencer to help people, to encourage people, to motivate people. You know what I mean? And there's influencers that do that, and I'm grateful for those true influencers that do provide that for us as a collective. And it takes a lot to walk that path. It's very easy to sell your soul. And when I say sell your soul, not literally to, demonic energy or spirit or whatever, but your morals, your soul, your soul's path, your own soul. Like my soul, this is what I came here to do. This is who I am. This is how I show up. To say I'll forfeit that just to fit in with what's trending right now that may not be trending 10 years from now. So, no. Mm-mm. It looks good. It does. It looks fun. It looks like, and probably fun in the moment. I used to live that life. I'm telling you, like, I used to live a very frivolous life where I would party all the time. It was all about going out. It was all about boys. It was all about looking cute. It was all about how much attention I got. I lived a very frivolous life in my youth. Like 18 to like early 20s until I had my daughter. I kind of like slowed down a little bit. I still had a lot of growing to do, maturing to do mentally and emotionally and spiritually. But in that span of my life, I had no care for my future. And it like put me in some really bad situations. Certain things I'm not proud of that I've done, that some people, they're always going to remember that that happened and that I did that. That's taxing on your spirit. You have to forgive yourself. Of course, you don't live in the past, but you're going to have to live with the consequences of that. So, if you have any bit of a soul or a conscience or a heart, like that stuff is going to weigh on you. Like, damn, I did that to this person, or I caused this, or, I can't even believe I did that. That was, you look back and it's just like, mm-mm. They're all learning experiences. If I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't be able to help people in the way that I am now. Like the things that I'm saying, a lot of it is experience. Some of it is, yes, divinely inspired things, but it's either from personal experience that I've gone through myself or I've witnessed personally. So if people call you a prude, okay. Because the word prude or prudent, like if you look up the word, I like this word because I looked at it, I'm like, what does prude mean? And prudent came up. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll be that. I care about my future. I do. And being someone that is like you know, because I talk about abstinence a lot because it's discipline. Like, this is coming from somebody that loved sex. Still do, but not in the sense like that where it was just like, oh, he's fine, he cute, are we having a good time, blah, blah. Oh, I just want to do it and, you know, want to get it in, you know, like, it takes a lot to do that because my mind, my eyes, my spiritual eyes had to be open to see sex in a different light for me to be like, I it's not worth it. I'll wait. I can wait. And I know that it's going to be a different experience when it's with the right person versus like people that are not meant to be in my life for long term or don't have my best interest, don't love me, probably don't even think about me anymore to this day. And I just gave them one of the most precious parts. I let them come into my womb, my portal, my space, and probably just had them dumping all kind of shit in me. You know what I mean? Spiritually, energetically, on me. It's not worth it. I could wait. It's not worth it. It's really not. And it's like, this might be a little too much, but one of the things that made me like really stop is like I had sex with someone I had sex with often in the past, and it just was like nothing was different, but it was just like it was like what the fuck? I can't explain it. It was like something went off of me. It was like this. It's more than physical. It's so much more that goes into it. And when my eyes were open, I'm just like, I can't lay here and just, I can't do this. I felt disgusted. And it wasn't so much of the act, like they did something disgusting to me, but it was just like, this is like whack. Like, it's like, no. I want spiritual intimacy, and I feel like that was lacking, but because I wasn't spiritually in tune and aware of myself and others in the past, I could have sex like that because I wasn't spiritually connected. When you're open and you're spiritually connected, things will start to be like, like what? No. What is this? It just doesn't resonate anymore with you. I can't do that. The thought of like doing it with somebody that I don't connect with on a deep level, or I don't have, like, they don't connect to me. That's another thing that's important. I might have feelings for someone, but if they don't feel that with me, like, why do that to myself? You're not even valuable enough. Like, you don't even see it valuable enough for you to even cherish. You don't even see this experience as something sacred. It's just like, I'm just another piece. Like, no, I'll never do that to myself again. I'll never subjugate myself to that type of experience ever again. Ever. And being valued is not somebody that thinks you bad, or, oh, you so fine, you so beautiful, that lusts over you, that idealizes you, but they don't really want the real you, the vulnerable you, outside of their fantasy. Do you really value me? Probably not. So to just lay down with someone just because they talking about you a goddess, oh, you fine, and oh, you so beautiful, oh, I'm so obsessed with you. Like, no. We don't have that connectivity. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. I'll be damned. Kiss. I'm talking kissing. I'm talking like nobody's seen none of this in like 6 years. This child's been 6 years. No one's seen anything. No one's kissed me, touched me. I don't even haven't even held hands with a nigga in like 6 years. It's been a long time. I'm telling you, like those parts have been locked down, and it's not. I'll be honest. Like, of course, you in between that time you want to at least experience someone, maybe not sexually, but maybe like, you know, some sort of intimacy, like kissing or something. Like, it's completely just not happening, and it's not because I'm trying to like not make it happen. It's just not. It's not meant, and I accept it. Okay. And it makes it even more special to me to be like, I'll wait. I'll wait, because it's going to be a different experience. It's like I'll be like a little virgin again, because when I did lose my virginity, it was a traumatic experience. It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't nothing that I really was prepared for and wanted necessarily. It wasn't that. It was very traumatic. So when it does happen with the right person, it will be something, it's different, because like, okay, a new, like, almost like this is my first kiss all over again, holding hands for the first time with someone. It's just like it's going to feel different because it's I'm not the same woman that girl, like I'm not her anymore. Not in the same space anymore. I'm not going to be attracted to the same type of men anymore, and that's done away with. So the experience is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. It's going to mean something for real this time. It's really going to mean something. Not to just me, but to the other person. It's going to really mean something. But yeah, I had to go through those life cycles in order to even see all of this. If I knew how precious my temple was and like knew things about spiritual warfare, because I went to church and stuff as a child, but they ain't teaching this in church. I didn't know anything about demons like that or what they were and spirits and soul ties. I wasn't taught that stuff in church. Yeah, I just heard, oh, don't have sex, it's bad. That's all I heard. You know what I mean? I never had to talk. My mom didn't have to talk until it was too late. Like, mom, like, and you don't know your daughter enough to like know something's different or something's like something ain't right. And I was dealing with an abusive boyfriend at the time, and nobody was like, "What's wrong with her? Why is she depressed? Why is she acting like?" No one questioned these things, and it's like I had to learn. Like by myself, literally had to walk my path just winging it, and probably a lot of us had. I didn't have that guidance. Not that they didn't care. I don't feel like they really knew how. You know what I mean? They just didn't know how. My dad is not the type that wants to touch on stuff like that. Like, he's not going to do that. So, and my mom was still like in her 30s, still doing her, living the life. Like, she didn't take the time to really walk with me in that way. So I'm just navigating it, and all of my friends are sexually active, and I had some friends that were fast. I try to say two words at once. They were fast, and the saying fast, like they was doing stuff that 20-year-old women be doing. Like they had no business. They were sleeping with grown men, some of them were getting pregnant. Like I had friends that were in the fast lane. So hey, I lived frivolously in the beginning stages of my youth. Like in my teenage years, I did a lot of stuff. And in some cases, I still feel like I didn't do a lot because compared to some people, like some of my friends, they was like doing wilding the fuck out. But I still like did things to this day that I'm like, if my daughter did that, I would probably jump off a cliff. If I ever heard or found out about it, I'm jumping off a cliff. I can't handle it. I can't. I'm jumping off a cliff. I'm jumping into the ocean with my legs wrapped around a rock. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, that's just the furthest thing. So, I had to learn all about that. I had to learn on my own and navigate through it and make some mistakes and some things that I had to live with the fact that I did those things. Like, and we all have that. We all have our experiences. None of us are perfect. I am not perfect. You're, you're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're human. But the beautiful thing about that is like we can evolve past those levels that we've come from. We can always do better in life. There's always a chance to do better. You just have to be strong enough to live with the consequences and forgive yourself. Hopefully others will forgive you if you've wronged anyone, if anyone's wronged you, that you can move on and live your life. So, yeah. Don't allow, like, the past or because even the past will make you believe that, like I said, like you're not good enough to have a healthy, loving relationship. And it's like, no, if you know in your heart, like where you are within yourself at this very moment, that you are in a good space and place and a pure place within yourself, we come here deserving of love. Like, knowing it, God loves all of us. Source God loves all of us. But do we love ourselves? Do we believe that we deserve to be loved, and not because of what society teaches us, that you're only lovable if you do this, or if you're able to achieve this or that, or if you look like this, if you have that, or you did this or you didn't do that, you're lovable. No, that's not how love works. Those are all conditions. Check mark, oh yeah, okay, you lovable. That's not how it works. If you think a man is going to love you because how fine you are, go look at the Halle Berrys of the world, okay? These are gorgeous women that have been cheated on. You think a baby's going to stop a man from cheating? Like, there's families, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't do anything. So to say you're not worthy of love is never going to be an extension of what you're able to do, how you look, but just because you're you. You're to be appreciated. You're a soul. You have a soul. You're a living being. You're here. You deserve love. Just like a plant deserves. I love my orchids. I love them. Like, you, every living thing, animals deserve love. Like, deserve that. That's just, it just is this. It is what it is. I sound like a little kid, but it is what it is. You don't have to be a size 2 to be loved, or you don't have to be a man that's got like, I don't know, I don't really know too much about cars like that, but like, you don't, it doesn't have to be that. And ladies, I will say this, don't sell yourself short. Like, if you know you're worthy and you're deserving of nice things, you're deserving, but it doesn't mean you be a gold digger. I'm not saying to be a gold digger, but don't play yourself like, oh, we can go to McDonald's and this dude can take you somewhere nice. You're just, oh, it don't matter. I just, no, stop playing yourself. And then men, like, if this woman doesn't show you any interest outside of what you have, like, don't be so desperate. And I know because they look like, they're like a Barbie doll. They bad, and oh, it'd be so great to have this girl on my arm. But she's just there for the wrong reasons. Don't play yourself. And there's so many other things that I could say. Sex, giving it up, giving the best head or whatever you can do, and that doesn't stop a man from cheating. There's other people that can give head good too. It's just, you might be able to do a little something different. And some men be like, it's variety. Hey, it ain't like, I'm just going to pick this one out of all the good head givers. It's not, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Like, oh, you might think you have the best ever. Someone else has it's variety for them. Hey, like, this one can do this one can do that. So, no, okay, they ain't gonna be like, oh, she got good head, but let me put her to the side because this one, no. So that doesn't keep nobody. It doesn't. Sex, beauty, it doesn't. It might attract somebody for the time being because, superficial reasons, but once that itch is scratched and it's no longer fun anymore, then you're like a toy. You get tossed to the side for the next toy. You don't want to be that. You want somebody that is soul driven, soul led, soul fed, and led, that has their mind on right, like sober minded. And I tell women this, that you got to think about the man that's leading you. Like, if you look at some of these men, I'll be thinking to myself, like, I wouldn't want you making a decision for my household. I'd be like, you can't even decide on what you want to do with your life. You just throw it away, or you're attracted to like trashy spirited people, or I don't think I want to lead in my life, and I don't think that's going to work. Or you talk to women like trash and disrespect every woman, and you act like women owe you something, like to be your slave. I don't want that as a husband. Like, not your fucking slave. I'm a helpmate. I edify you. I add to you. I support. I'm not a servant. It's not what we are. We don't do that. We're way more than that. We have so much more to give. And for women that birth babies out for these undeserving men that don't even respect the woman that birthed their children, it's like, girl, I wish I would. He's my baby daddy, though. I don't. So. So. That's about. He's just a sperm donor. Like, that's it, basically. So you gotta think about the type of man you want leading you. You don't want somebody like an Andrew Tate or a Kevin Samuels leading you, or these sick men that just abuse women or don't know how to take rejection, and they're abusive and violent and angry. Like, no. And you don't want a woman that is manipulative and controlling and a user or codependent, and just you can't walk together. You can't walk if two are not on one accord, if they are not in agreement, and not just mentally you can't agree on things, but if you can't even agree, like your spirits and your souls are on two different frequencies or pages, you can't walk together in a healthy way. You can't do that. I feel like power couples aren't just people that make money moves and have money and all that together, because some people don't even like their so-called, partner that they don't like them. It's just money or it's business for them. But like a true power couple is like y'all shifting fucking frequencies and timelines and healing generational traumas, and that is a different thing. That's different. So don't sell yourself short. And some of you, oh, ain't no good men out there. Well, change your surroundings, your energy, change your mindset, and your attraction and your energy will change. You'll be placed in different energies to attract that what's for you. When you come out of that old self that you were, you're not going to be attracted to those same people anymore. And most likely, when they do come your way, you're just going to be like, ugh. You know what I mean? And you might, start, obviously, like attracts like. You're going to attract people that are more in the same frequency as you. That have, similar minds with you, that you can really vibe with in a healthy way, that will show up where you don't have to call them and text them and coerce them to take you out on dates, and or chasing a woman that don't want you, or only if you paying her bills and she ain't like. You don't got to do all of that. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. They pursued you for some some nani. Like, they pursued that until, they got it, or when they want it, they quick to text you back when they want that. But when it comes to time and effort, they're a no-show. You don't deserve that. It's only available to you because you're putting yourself in the vibration of saying, this is all I deserve. Or I want him, so I'll put up with this. No. That dude ain't that great. If he doing all that, he ain't all of that great. And this is coming from somebody like so forgiving and so graceful with people. I just be like, oh, they probably just had, like, I was just too. But I've learned that when people really want to do something, they'll do it. If they really genuinely want to see you, they really want to spend time with you, they genuinely like you, they'll take the time out for you. And you can experience this with people that may not be meant to be in your life for a long term. Maybe they were just there to show you what, you could have or you deserve, or help you heal, see if you're really ready for the real deal. Hey, baby. But, what do you want, Novi? You gonna knock my plants, baby? Down. To show you what you deserve and see if you're really ready for that, what's for you. So you'll have those experiences where you might have people that are genuinely interested and show you what you deserve, and, care for you, attend, and be, listen to you, support you, whatever you feel, protect. That's my number one thing. Because I've never felt secure or safe with a man before. Like, genuinely felt like, and when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, if we go out and there's a gunfight, he'll be there to protect me. Not necessarily just that, but where I can be vulnerable with the person and not feel like he's going to throw this in my face later, or he's going to use it as ammo to manipulate me and like play mind games with me. And instead of saying, okay, this woman, she's dealt with this, or I see that she's, struggling in this area, let me help her, let me support her, let me love her, let me pour into her. No, how can, okay, I'm playing her insecurities, let me do this, I know this bothers her. That's a sick-minded motherfucker. You don't want that. Like, I want somebody, personally, this is my opinion, that I can feel secure and safe with, just being in my energy, being me, my authentic self, to share my goals and my dreams and what I want out of life, and my fears, the things that have happened, without somebody being like, okay, or being jealous. Like, that's another thing too, like attracting jealous men that are jealous of you as a person. Not like jealous, like, I don't want no other man to have her, like, just like that, but more so like, I'm jealous of her light, or I'm gonna dim it, let me play, oh, I'm gonna do this, like, who? No. All women deserve that, because we're as a woman, as a feminine energy, you're a receptive being. You're an intuitive being. You deserve that. And for men that look at women like they don't deserve to be loved and appreciated, we are the prize. Get mad if you want to. We are a gift. We are. We birthed you. Who the fuck do you like? What? No. You're a gift in your own right, but you're not to be like, no, women are not here to cater to men in a way of like coddling them and paying for things for them like they're women. Like, where do you get off on that? Where do y'all get off on that? I don't understand that. A man, I feel like, wants to be a provider. When I say provider, I'm not just talking about financially, but like, you want to step up. You want to be a leader. You want to protect and defend your family, your woman. Like, that's a real man. Like, men that are just like, these fucking punks. Like, I don't know this generation. I just don't know. And then some of them be like grown men. They be in their 50s talking about what you bring to the table. Like, you still live at your grandma's house, like somewhere. Like, what is you talking about? And I'm not shaming nobody that, you know, you got to live with people to like get on your feet. But like, talking to women like you ain't bringing nothing but just ashy feet and drama. Like, who are you? Like, I don't understand people. Or do you just think because you like you got some money, like you make some money, like you deserve someone to like a woman that has something to give, somebody that deserves it, where she's willing to take your shit and love you and do all this stuff for you, and that would be well appreciated for a man that appreciates her, but you want that from her and you don't even deserve it. You just take. You just demand, but you don't give nothing. Like, what? Where do they get all, like, I just don't get it. And what do you bring to the table other than some, you know what, some between your legs? A lot. But to a broken man, you'll just take it. You wouldn't know what to do with it. And a lot of people are broken. And like I said, just because you've been through some shit and you've been hurt doesn't mean that you take it out on other people. You're going to want to heal. So if you're talking and making excuses for some ninja talking about, oh, I've been hurt before. Oh, his baby mama hurt his feelings. And, oh, his mom did this and his dad wasn't in his life. And, oh, my God. All of that is excuses. Like, you know, like you can look at yourself and be like, okay, I've been through some stuff, but you're not just out here to blah, blah. I'm just going to pour everything out on everybody and just everybody's life up. No consequences. You're not going to do that. You're going to heal. So if a person is actively healing, it will show. It will show in their actions. So all that excuse of he's just scared and, oh, he's only acting like that because his dad did this to him. Excuses. A dog that's been abused in a shelter has more patience and can recover and spark back up more than some broken ass dude. Like, you just like, oh, we're not an animal rescue. And animals are far more intelligent than we give them credit for, so I don't even want to say that. But, like, it's not Build-A-Bear. You're not building men for yourself. They have to build themselves. You can be the support, but they should already be building themselves. They should already be in a space where they are actively healing. It's a turn off for men to be like, oh, I've been through it, or you should know what I'm going through, or make an excuse and like cry about it to abuse you. That's sick. It's sick. There ain't much empathy in the world. Like, I ain't got that much empathy to like put myself in a position to just be hurt and wounded. Like, where's the love in that? Like, you think that's love because you're allowing somebody to abuse you? You feel like that's you showing how much you're loyal and you love a person, but you're letting yourself be abused. Where's the love in that? It's twisted. It's really twisted. But yeah, no. Don't be discouraged. There's someone for everyone just when you think there's not. It just might not be where you think it is or where you always looking. It might not be, you know, in the Instagram models that you like obsess over, or the dudes that you've been like wanting. Like, it might not be that type. But just because it's not your type, your archetype, your programmed type, or you're programmed to like, the person that's for you is like, they're going to be perfect for you. And that's the beauty of it. It's like what I said, like with the sushi, everybody's going to go to the buffet table and they're going to go to the Mexican food, they're going to go to the American food, the Italian food table, but they might skip the sushi because it's kind of, it's not really something that everybody likes. It's not a big tasty thing. But that one person that gives it a shot and be like, I actually really like this. That's how it is. That's what it's like. It's not something you're looking at. It doesn't mean like, oh, they're going to be unattractive to me. Like, no. Spirit ain't going to play you out like that. Like, that would be settling. And Spirit is not going to have you settle for less. God says you can do exceedingly and abundantly. So God ain't going to be like, hey, or the universe, whatever y'all want to call the creator, source, whatever. It's not going to be like, oh, I know you like this, or I know you want somebody you can be attracted to, but I'm just gonna put you with this person. Just like them. Just like them. If it was that, you could do that any day. You could, like, as a single man, as a single woman, you could be like, okay, I'm not really finding what I'm looking for. Let me just settle for what wants me. You can do that. I could do that. But I don't want to do that because that's not meant for me. That's too easy. And when I say it's too easy, it's like, if it was that, you would already be in a relationship, and if it was meant, it would just happen, right? But within yourself that's not what you want, so you can't force that. Just because somebody says they want to marry you or someone says they're interested in you doesn't mean that you just be like, okay, if it's not meant, it's not meant for you. God's not going to have you settle for something that you're not going to be into. Like, what does that look like? And sometimes your type, like people say, is why you're single. Because you keep going after the same thing and you're wondering why you're not getting any better results. Are you attracted to that for the wrong reasons? Are you attracted to it for superficial reason? Is there something there that it's not working? Why are you attracted to that? The swag. Oh, he got swag and he fine, and not say that your man ain't gonna be fine or your woman ain't gonna be beautiful, whatever. But it may not be that glittery thing that everybody wants, and it's the trend, and it's this and it's that, like that's superficial. You want something that's a little more base. Like you can tell, like my friend, I was just talking to her today. My friend, we went out to brunch today and she was telling me about her boyfriend, and they've been together ever since she told me about him in the past. It was like 2 years ago, I think, when they met. And she was like, he was not my type. My type was like, what did she say? It was so funny. She said little fizz from B2K. She was like, I wanted like those types of light-skinned guys. And she was like, why? Because her boyfriend is white. And she was like, he was not what I was looking for. He was not my type, but it's like, he's just perfect for me. And it's like, that's how it is sometimes. You'll have it in your mind that your person has to look a certain way or be a certain way. Like you're used to these flakeables that hit you up, and it's like, oh, he gave you butterflies because like, oh, he was like, unobtainable, but now he wants me. And then the next minute he ain't talking to you, and then when he called you, get those same butterflies. You get that adrenaline, but there's no concrete to it. There's nothing more to it. Or because he's good in bed or something. I've seen some women be like falling for some dudes that I'm like, what, I don't see what you're seeing, but I get it. Like once a man hits some things, you just get stuck on somebody and you're just like, girl, he ain't shit. Like, girl, you can see so much better. So it's not always like the fine, like what people would quote unquote say is fine. And your man could be just handsome. And my friend's, her boyfriend, he's handsome. He's not the little fizz, but he's his own handsome. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? Like, someone could be like, oh, I only want to date redheads or something. Like, she has to be a redhead. And your woman is a brunette, but that doesn't mean that she's not going to be beautiful. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, like, he's not going to be attractive or she's not going to be attractive. It's just not going to be that thing that you're always drawn to. And like, if you look at a person, you could tell, like, they have a type. If you look at all of the exes of people they slept with, whether they all look kind of similar or they have the same type of body type or something, or there's something that will be similar about that person, or maybe even their personality or something. It's there. And I truly believe that there will be hints of your person in every person that you've ever been attracted to. There's going to be that. But there's also a reason why you're attracted to an archetype of a person. Like my friend, like she only wanted the guys that were light skinned and looked like little Fizz. Like why? You know what I mean? Like why? And not that she didn't date other types or whatever, but that was what her archetype was. That's what her archetype, just that was what it was. So some people, it could be shape, it could be skin tone, it could be facial features, it could be personalities. Like one of my friends, because she's a musician, she's attracted to nothing but musicians, but I feel like it's the love of the art that's like, oh my God, I love musicians, because that you get it, you understand it, because that's your art, that's your gift where it lies. So you resonate, like attracts like. But your type or whoever, they may not be that. Who's to say that her man ain't a painter or something? You know what I mean? Or whatever. So, or your person could be like musically gifted or something, but be a painter. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be fixed on something so specific that you're not open to anything else, because I guarantee you, and the person that's for you is going to be that one that stands out above the rest. Like, I'm telling you, like, um, they're not going to be like anybody you've ever dated. There's going to be something that sets this person apart, whether it's physicality or it's just their vibe, their energy, or all of the above, whatever. They're going to be set apart. It's just something about them that's just different. You'll know it. Like, you'll meet unique people all the time, be like, oh, they're cool. And then there's something unique, but there's something about the person's essence or just the energy between the connection that is going to be separate. It's just not like they're not going to be like anybody you've ever met before. It's just a different connection and energy and the person itself. Like, I really truly believe, like, you'll just know that it's different. You'll know. One of my good friends, I talked about her before, Kenya, her husband, she was not expecting to meet him, and like he lived all the way in Africa, and they met, like crazy how they met. And she said she knew, and he knew very early that they knew. And that's what I be saying to people. Like, I've heard so many men say this, I've read it, I've watched videos where men say they knew who their wife, they knew. There's no question. Like, we could be like, I want this person so bad and I would like it to be them, but there's a difference between like knowing. And if you've ever felt the knowing of something, like where God, like in your spirit, like you know something without a shadow of a doubt, you don't know why, but it's just like you know it. Like, let's say you know that the first letter in the alphabet is A. Like, you know that off top, right? That it's like, you just know, right? And I've had experiences where I just knew things, and I'm not talking about like necessarily love, but just like in general, where I knew something and it was true. So when that happens, you're just gonna know. It might not happen immediately. It might not happen like within a short period of time. It might take some time, but you and that person is going to know. And it doesn't take men long, especially to know when they've met the woman they're going to spend their life with, because men usually typically date a lot. They usually see a lot of women. They've experienced a lot of women, usually. Um, so it's going to be different. There's going to be something that sets you apart. It's going to be something that sets them apart. You're just going to know. You're just going to know. Like, it's a difference, because I've met like people before, whether romantically or platonically, where I was like, I feel like there's something significant about this person, or I feel like there's something to this, where it's true. There was something that was meant to happen or transpire. I was meant to meet them for whatever reason in a time of my life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they were meant to stay. So there's a difference between that inkling, like there's something significant about a person, versus that's my person. Like, you'll just know. And I remember my friend Kenya telling me, she said, I knew he was my husband. She wasn't like, and sometimes that spirit of disbelief will not allow you to accept the truth of things. When it's revealed to you, or when it's there, you'll discount it. And that was something I struggled with a lot too, because a lot of false connections will have you like twisted and you don't want to believe anymore in love. You don't want to fall anymore. So it's kind of like you don't want to be wrong. So when you walk around with that complex of I don't want to be wrong, I don't want to be wrong, like you're going to fall into that. So you got to work on that disbelief. But yeah, you just know, and that person's going to be sure about you. I pray this for y'all, like that you'll know that you know, and that the person, you'll see that this person is sure about you. If someone is unsure about you, they're constantly like playing games with you, like they're not confused, they're not you're not the one. Whether they don't know that or there's something in their spirit that knows that, the person that's sure about you, they're going to show you that. There's not going to be any confusion. It's not going to be this game that they play back and forth with you. And, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's just not. It's not going to be that. So, we've been on here for such a long time. I'm going to have to change the title of this video because it has many layers to it. But, yeah, I pray for every single heart on here that desires love and that true love and desires partnership or to be with the person that they're meant to be with in this lifetime, that comes to pass for you, which I believe it will, because God planted that seed. And I said this in one of the videos, that I truly believe that if it's something that you can sense within your entire being, that like you could feel it in you, that you feel that love, that pull in your heart to experience it, you just might have projected it onto different people, because that love is real. It's just trying to find its home. It's just trying to find that place. So that love that you feel, that you wish to experience, it's like in your energy, it's in your being, it's in your heart, it's in your spirit to experience it. You're looking for it. You might have felt it you thought you felt it with this person, or you might have projected, okay, it's got to be them, but it didn't work. And that's because the home, you haven't found that other complement to your soul, your heart, your being. It just hasn't happened yet, or you just haven't come together yet. But I believe that if it's there in your heart, and I'm not talking about a desire from a place of like your ego, where your flesh wants something, not your soul, where it's not a selfish thing. Oftentimes I find this, I have to say this real quick before I get off. Oftentimes I find that when it's a true heart's desire, or it's a divine God-given desire inside of you, it's not something that you only want for yourself. It's not about just you. You're thinking about, this desire may be something that is to bless other people. And what I mean by that is, for some of you, it could be like, I desire marriage and love, not just because I want to experience that with another person, but because, maybe you want a family and you want a healthy home and a happy family, a happy home that you never had. That's not a selfish desire whatsoever. It's a beautiful desire. Or so that I can inspire other people, to have healthy, loving relationships, or to heal generational curses, or whatever your purpose is. It will usually come with something that's selfless. It's never going to be, I just want that person, or I want to be with them, or they're my person. It's never going to be selfish, or, they're just so beautiful, or it's not just going to be that. It's going to be so much more to it. It's not a selfish desire. It's selfless. Because it was planted, like God planted that. It's always there. Even anything in life, like your desire to start a YouTube channel, if it's all about you just getting clicks and views and becoming viral, then it's probably not coming from Source God, because God will plant you, your spirit, your soul will drive you to do this because you want to help people, you want to help the collective, or you want to become a doctor, not because mommy and daddy is a doctor, or because they said you got to be a doctor, but because you genuinely want to help people. You want to help heal the sick, or you want to start an organization. You got to ask what's driving the desire, and that will tell you if it's God or if it's ego or something completely outside of you that's just not for you. There's a difference. Okay? So, I hope that was helpful. This was a long ass video. That always happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to do a follow up, like a discussion, and like have you guys call in, like, how did that experiment go? Where you guys journaled? Why are you worthy of love? Good morning. Hey, Samantha. Hey. Why you're worthy of love, and like the song or songs that you listen to that helped you like get into that space of the love that you desire. Like, what was the effects? How did you make you feel? I can't say that I really. I mean, I did kind of have like some moments where I felt like some breakthroughs and I had some revelations during the journaling process and listening to that song. I made a playlist actually. I made a playlist connected to like the feeling of that pure love. I've made a playlist about that. So I might do a follow up because I was supposed to do it on Friday. Friday, I was just like, no, you need to rest and just chill, enjoy yourself. And I went and me and my aunt went out and like day drinked. So we like bar hopped and like we ate like three different foods. We had pizza, we had ravioli. So we went to an Italian place. Then we went to a Mexican bar. Then we went to like have sushi. Like, so we were just like just doing it up, but it was fun. So I'm like, okay, I'm not in the space. I'm relaxed. I want to just chill, be at home, rest. So I'll do the live discussion. If not sometime before Friday, then definitely Friday. Um, and hopefully I'll have more to talk about, go into with the whole thing. And I would love for you guys to call in and tell me what you guys experience. So I'm gonna give you guys like a whole week to like 4 or 5 days to like write this out if you haven't already. The reasons why you're worthy of just being loved in general as a person, why you are to be loved as a human being, but also why you're worthy of the love, the purest love that you desire, that romantic partnership that you desire. And the song, like listen to a song as often as possible that gets you into that vibration that you feel like you're really experiencing that love that you really desire, like that song that really brings that out or opens your heart space into tapping into that. And like the effects, like what was the effects of it, like how has it changed you? Has it changed like your mindset surrounding love? Has it made you more optimistic? Has it brought you revelation? Like what was the experience? And I'll share some of mine if I'm led to. I'll share with y'all, and I'll continue to do it throughout the week. But I made a whole playlist, child. Like I'll pick the songs. I'm like, this puts me there. This song puts me there, and it's just like, because even when I was a little girl, like I used to love listening to those little late night radio songs. Like they would play like the slow jams they call it, and I don't know what it is in other states, but in our state we had the Midnight Mamacita, and it was called, I can't remember what it was, slow jams with Midnight Mamacita, I think it was called. I can't remember, but I used to listen to her radio show, and she would play all these songs, and my heart would just be like, oh my gosh. And I would just feel that. And I've felt this since I was a little girl. Like, it just puts you there. And I don't know, it's the power of music, but it just does something. I think it just, I don't know. Like, I used to love hearing Cupid. Like, that, like, Y112, that was probably one of my ones. And then of course, because my mom used to play this 𝗟𝗍𝗍 album, and I used to love that song with him and Tamia. That's probably like I would say my top love song ever. Like that one, I love that song. It just, I don't know. And music back then, like the love songs was just so pure and so like vulnerable, and nowadays it's just all about sex and just all kind of stuff, like I don't feel that anymore, those feelings. And there's some songs that will kind of do that, but it's just not the same. I don't know if it was just the era of music at the time or the writers they had at the time, I don't know, but like I don't know, it's just a different feeling. But I'm gonna leave it here. I'm not gonna stay on here too long, because if I do, I'll just keep talking. But I don't feel like there's anything else to say, and I hope I didn't offend anyone, because sometimes I could be a little raw. And like I said, like some people can't handle the like the juice is just a little too spicy. It's a little too, got too much flavor for some people, and it's like I'm not gonna water it down. I can't do that. If you can't handle it, not everybody, not everybody's taste. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna get off, I promise. I don't even know what time it is. Probably like 10 o'clock now, because it was like 8 something, almost 9 o'clock when I got on here, I think. But I'm gonna title this video probably different. And yeah, I don't really feel it. Like, I just don't have that same feeling. Like, there's people that can sing and like have like really good, like, the music is composed really well, but it's just like it's missing something. Some of it, majority of it. Being biased, but majority of it. All right, but I'm gonna hop off. I appreciate y'all. I love my Soul Tribe fam, my sisters, my divine feminine. I appreciate y'all, and you know the brothers on here as well. So thank you. Aw, thank you, Sam, Bianca, all the ladies, Tori, everybody on here, bro. I don't know everybody that was on here, but I appreciate all of you guys. As always, be sure to like this video. If you feel like it's going to help one other person or another, share it with your family, your loved ones, your peoples. And I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.